God's name is going on in here?
Episode 106. I'm all alone by myself. The couch is empty. There's no Vinnie today. He had some prior engagements to take care of, so he's handling his business. But we're here. The show goes on, and Vinnie will be back next week. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But yeah, it was good. Good weekend. Episode 2. This is gonna be the. Let's see. What is it? Let's see. Solar eclipse episode, because when this comes out, April 8th, solar eclipse.
It will be, yes.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Who was that? Total Eclipse of the Heart. That was
Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler. I said that was a great song. Sad as shit. Episode
Was it a sad song?
I thought it was.
I never really listened to the words, I guess.
Was it Turnaround? Every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. To me, it's sad.
I guess.
Yeah, you could cry to it if you wanted to.
I guess.
106. So you're gonna hop into it, and I'll let you take the reins here and tell me what you got to. You got tunes over there, or what?
I told you, this is just getting harder and harder. I scraped up 2, but that's all you're getting from me.
What you got?
Well, you know I love Panic at the Disco.
Sure.
I write sins, not tragedies.
Okay.
And Welcome to the Black Parade.
Okay. That's not bad.
That's
it.
Not bad.
That's
That's
not
it.
Bad. That's not bad.
The rest is complete garbage.
You don't like Justin Timberlake, Sexy Back?
Sexy Back was 2006.
I think Justin Timberlake is the worst.
Oh, you know it also came out?
The worst.
Gotcha.
Sean Paul was a bit of a hot commodity at this time. That's the Jamaican guy.
For some reason, yeah, sure.
The Temperature song.
Yuck.
But all the songs sounded. He had like 6 hits and they all sounded the same. Yeah. And then, cause you had a bad day. That guy,
Again,
Daniel Power.
but these are good songs.
I know. I'm just saying those are things that.
I thought you said, "Oh, I have a ton."
No, I'm just saying like, it's this shit that sticks in your head. You know what I mean?
I only know that song is only relevant because of American Idol. Remember, every time somebody got kicked off of, or didn't make it through or whatever, they played that song where they cried their ass out of the place.
Yeah. But I like that song. Cause you're beautiful. James Blunt was in there.
Oh.
I mean, it's just songs that were fucking,
awful.
They were, no, but they had like, there'll be those staying power songs that are ridiculous that you'll remember that song. What? Not in a positive way, just like, oh, I remember that shit. Yeah, I remember
Maybe.
that song.
I don't know.
Lean with it, rock with it.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah. That was one. Let me see who else. There was some other one that I had it was caught my attention. Jesus. Oh yeah, what'd you call it? Chris Brown before he started hitting people, he did the running song. Running. What? Well, I mean, I don't care if he hit anybody.
I don't care that he hit Rihanna.
Right.
Because I kind of want to do that myself.
Yeah, she was heinous at the Super Bowl thing last year. It was bad. It wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. The other one that I had that was good was let's see, the Chris Brown one. I had that. Bad Day. Jesus, I had just lost it. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus, Take the Wheel was on the list.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not good either.
There was one, Danny California, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like. That's a
pretty
really good impersonation.
Yeah. And then fucking Rascal Flatts. That was pretty good. Was it? Damn it. Was it?
Probably
Hurts the most.
Well,
Hurts
also Life is a Highway probably was because Cars was released in 2006.
That's true too. Yeah. Fucking Michael Scott. He goes third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Did you say Bubba Sparks yet?
No, I didn't see Bubba Sparks, but I did.
New Booty.
That's pretty. Oh, I remember that song. Yeah, it was.
Shout out Vinnie.
Oh yeah. Lips of an Angel. Remember everybody thought that song was like a romantic song?
Yeah.
Lips of an Angel. It wasn't. It was.
Everybody was like dedicating it to their girlfriends and wives. It's like, hey, are you listening to the words? If your husband is dedicating that to you, that's a problem.
It's not a good look.
That's not good. That means he's got a side piece.
And for some reason, Photograph keeps popping up. I don't know why. It's bullshit. I think they're lying.
Why. It's not a song that's lasting. Why does it come up?
Yeah, I know. And what was the other one? There was another good one. Kanye West, Gold Digger. That was good. He was finding his way. He was getting big. My humps, my lovely lady humps. That was good too. Anyway, yeah, it is tough to find. In 2006, it did get tough finding new tunes. It's just tough, because I'm used to the classics and shit. And did you have one, Dylan? What was it? Oh, you gotta look for it. Okay. While you look for it, I'll keep going here, and then you can. We'll get into that. Then, so last week on last episode 105, Vinnie, we kind of touched on kind of touched on it, and it was the Freaknik documentary, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I wanted to go see it. By the way, did you have any movies 2006 or no?
Yes, I do.
What did you have?
Aside from Cars, which actually wasn't on my list.
Cars pretty good.
I have Grandma's Boy. I know you like that movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
She's the Man, because you talk about it every day of our lives.
I gotta watch it at least once a month.
Shout out Amanda Bynes.
Oh yeah, fucking tattoos and shit. No, I love that movie. She's the Man's great. Like it's there's so many good lines in there, and there's when they talk about apothecary. Was it
Anthropology.
Anthropology. I'm thinking about something.
They have
else.
shoes now.
Yeah, they sell shoes now.
Yeah, I'm just over here eating my wad.
Oh, fucking the shit sandwiches, huh?
Yep.
Accepted. Yeah,
Yep.
Accepted.
Oh, I love that.
That's a good movie. Yeah,
Yep.
a good movie.
And I also have TV shows.
What's that?
My favorite series
What's that?
debuted that year, which was Real Housewives.
With the
first Housewives were actually Orange County.
Oh, I
didn't watch those, but
watch those either.
it was the creation of my show. And Gene Simmons' Family Jewels.
Oh, that was a good show.
Yeah, we like that show.
Is his son still tall? I mean, is he still like is he still like is he doing anything?
I don't know.
I don't know if he's doing anything.
I don't know.
With his
and
life.
Dexter.
I remember. Oh, Dexter was good. I enjoyed Dexter, but towards the end it got to repetitive where it was
stupid.
it was the same thing.
Stupid.
Like he almost got caught, he didn't get caught. He almost got caught.
Yeah, it started off really good, and then
really
it
creepy.
just lost me.
Yeah, it was really creepy.
Yeah.
And what was it that we were watching the other day that we saw that girl, the sister? I remember it was White Girls, right? Was it White Girls?
Oh yeah, White Girls.
White Chicks. That girl.
White Chicks. Yeah.
White Chicks.
I never saw that movie till
the other day, like last week, right?
Last week.
Yeah, we watched it for the
What's your
first time.
favorite scene that you can think of? Remember?
I didn't like it that much. I don't really have a favorite scene.
I like the dance off.
Everybody says it's Terry Crews singing that stupid song, but
oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, too.
everybody says that. I don't know. I didn't really have
the dancing is good.
I like the dancing.
That was fine.
Yeah. The girls that dance off.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was good. So yeah, we that was 2006 for your what's that? What is it? Oh yeah. Yeah, Ohio's for Lovers is awesome.
Hawthorne Hearts and
Hawthorne
Yellow
Hearts,
Card.
yeah, Yellow Card's good. I love Yellow Card. They had some hits, man. What's that? Oh yeah, the ones the Panic at the Disco and the Black Parade. Yeah, man. So 2006 was thin on shit on movies and whatnot. But speaking of movies, remember I told you earlier today I was saying about that prop from Titanic sold for $100 and. $720,000.
The door.
So that prop sold for that much.
If I had millions and millions of dollars, I would have that.
We would own it. We would own it. It'd be on the wall somewhere.
I've had a obsession with Titanic since I was like in kindergarten. Don't know why. Maybe I was on it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was obsessed with it, and then when the movie came out, forget it. My bedroom was Titanic themed from the movie.
That's
so
cool.
I would have that.
Oh, I know. No, I think
it's about 7 times in the theater.
Pretty dope.
It's a good movie.
I mean business.
I like Billy Zane was the best in that movie. He was the best character in that movie. Just saying. He stole the show with my eyes.
The best thing that Billy Zane brought was the new meme. And it's like,
what is it?
It's when you're doing your taxes, and it's like, I have a child, and it's him, but he's holding a dog.
Yeah, it works. It works for now, and maybe one day they will do that. They won't be just property one day.
They said that I read something about that. They're doing something where you can.
They're going to be people now.
Yeah, you can use them. Yeah, expenses I guess vet care.
Well, yeah, man, they're expensive as shit. Like they go to the doctor more than we do.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, the
that
dogs
you can
go.
Use that stuff. Probably won't happen in Texas.
Just so you know, we're probably funding Todd's family's vacations or something because the dogs,
sure we are.
the dogs, all three of the dogs go there quite often. And Todd over there at Hopscholar. He's also our vet too.
The Rayford vet?
Rayford Animal Wellness Center.
And that's where
clinic.
That's where our pups go to. Yeah. And they get all cleaned up and get their shots and all that whatnot.
Shout out Todd.
They're really really nice there.
Todd Hayden, right?
Yeah, Todd Hayden. Yeah, good guy, man. Real nice guy, man. Takes care of our pups. Oh, anyway, so that was the music for that. And anyway, back to the thing. I was getting to the Freaknik. Vinnie touched on it, and I was like, God, I was pissed because I hadn't watched it yet because I was trying to get to it. I was distracted with a lot of other things with Emma Stone and whatnot, being offended and being sad. So at Freaknik, I watched it. It was good, man. It was it really got deep into it, man. It was really how it was. It's funny how it started in '83. It was just four I guess what would you say? Like there was a club, right? It was like a
it was
like a
club,
college club, and then they just came together, and then they had different chapters in different states like Chicago, different cities, Chicago, what was it, like in New York? They had different chapters of these things, and it was just from, and they would just throw these big parties. It was just it started at a picnic, and I didn't know, and I was new to this, and I was ignorant to this information, but we're not allowed to say picnic, right? Picnic's a bad word.
Apparently, picnic is a bad word.
Yeah, because apparently back in the
what?
So back in the slavery days or before that or after that?
I think it was after that.
Apparently, the white folk would have a picnic and they would watch the hangings and whatnot, and
they would have like a lynching at
like a party
at picnics.
Yeah, a lynching. So it was kind of
it's kind of
it's kind of dark. It's very dark. It's shitty. It's shitty, but like I said, but picnic. I mean, there's still. I mean, you can't don't demonize everything. I mean, like
you don't have to murder just because you're having a picnic.
Yeah,
right.
We
don't all murder at picnics.
Yeah, sometimes I want. Sometimes I just want the ants there. Like the cartoon taking the food away. Shit. Anyway.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
But so that's why. So in the movie they were saying it was like picnic, but they didn't. Now it changed. But so what it was the founders is four college students. They were in their 20s or early 20s, like 20s, 21, 22. And it was four of them, like 2 girls and 2 guys, and they were just friends from college, buddies. And they started this little club, and they said, "Well, let's throw a picnic for us. We see that the white people are having their spring break, which is good for them. That's fine. They can have their spring break. We're going to do our own little thing. We're going to call it." It originated from picnic, and then from the group called La Freak, which they sing the song "Chic," "Freak Out." That song, the big hit, and they used the freak part from that, and then the picnic, so the freaknik, picnic kind of thing. So they smudged it up, and that's what it was. And '83 was the first one. And it was just a casual thing at a big ass park in Georgia, in Atlanta. There's a big ass park they went to. And they just showed up. They barbecued. They had drinks, and they all put money together, and they bought beverages and shit. They had a good time. It was just a very innocent thing, just them hanging out, black people kind of celebrating their culture, their music and shit, and which is great, man. I loved it. I loved the whole vibe of it. It looked cool. And then as it got bigger, they said as the years went on, like as the years progressed, like 86, 87, it started getting bigger, and it started getting more attention and shit. And then as it got bigger, what's it called? Like it started like coming on TV. Like what was it? Like we just started the series, A Different World with Lisa Bonet, right? Lisa Bonet. What's her name? Damn it, the girl, the light skinned one.
Whitley.
Jasmine Guy.
Jasmine
Guy. It was a spinoff of the Cosbys. She went off to college, and she went to a black school, Spelman. It was a fictional black college. Anyway, that kind of sparked that, because Different World kind of sparked that, so people could see it inside how, like the black schools and stuff, how it was, and they were having a good time. And it was a positive spin on this, which is, it's a good thing. And it started growing, and they started getting traction from that. And people were just getting more and more intrigued with the Freaknik thing, because it was just like, people started saying it was a good time. There was just music. They were having fun. And, it's just like, and then like in 92 is when it started getting like, Atlanta was a spot. People were driving there. Like people were making, like college kids up north were making fucking 20-hour road trips, 11-hour road trips. People from Texas going down there to Georgia just to go, partake in this party, because it was just like black people were having a good time. They were just having fun. They were having their own party, their own spring break. And like I said, 92, like started split.
I was gonna say, the thing that was crazy about that though is they would drive from up north down there to that, and they didn't even have hotel rooms or anything.
They would either go in they either stay in their cars, or sometimes some of the guys, it was funny, like some of the guys would say, yeah, we all got our money, we all put $125 together, and we were going to like a Winnebago, and we just made the road trip, man. We ate sandwiches in the truck, and it was just a huge celebration. It was a good time. Like,
if they were lucky, they'd meet someone, wink, wink,
yeah,
and then
have a good time.
Had a hotel room, and they get to stay there.
Yeah, It was nice, wholesome thing. Not to say it was negative as I get older, but in the beginning it was very wholesome. It was just a good time. And it was, for them, it was like, there was no social media. So you couldn't talk to nobody across the U.S., so they would come meet each other. There was for black kids to meet other black youths and stuff, and they were having a good time. But then Atlanta started doing a little changing, because in 92 is like when they started, Jermaine Dupri started, like what Crisscross came out. That came out. So Def was created, and it started blowing up. And Jermaine Dupri had like Jagged Edge, and he had the Brat. Things like those acts started blowing up, so Atlanta was getting more attention. So in 92, like I said, 92, 93, it started blowing up. And in 93 is when like Luke, was that oh, you're pushing the clock, the AC.
Freezing in here.
Oh, it felt good. It was perfect in here. It feels good. Anyway, 93, they got the attention of, like Vinnie was saying last week, got the attention of Luke from Two Live Crew. So they got involved. When they got involved, he knew it was just not going to be just a party anymore. It was going to be, there's going to be a lot of sex. There's going to be a lot of debauchery. It was going to be a good time. And that's what Luke, they interviewed Luke. Man, Luke looks the same fucking way, man. He looks exactly the same. Luke from Two Live Crew, don't remember him? He was talking to Jermaine in the studio. Jermaine Dupree, they were talking in the studio.
Oh,
he had the gap in his tooth and shit. I don't know. Anyway.
Sure.
Anyway.
I remember him.
Yeah, Luke.
I totally remember. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Luke, so they were hanging, like I said, he got involved and he made it to where it became very sexual. And he goes, but even still, like the people who ran, they kept going in the documentary. They kept cutting to the people who the originators, and they said even then, Freaknik was still like PG. Like you could still say what's up to a girl and say, hey, you're looking good, and take a picture of her, and it was casual, and they moved on. Later, as I got into it, like it started getting to more. There was like more groping and shit like that. People with even the girls too. They were. At that point, Daisy Dukes were introduced to the scene. So Daisy Dukes were out there. Chicks were wearing Daisy Dukes, showing cheeks and shit. So it got hairy, man. It got sketchy. It's a pretty funny word, it's hairy. But it got sketchy because dudes thought, because chicks are dressing, skimpy. Like, hey, this is my green light to get, to start poking at her and shit and doing stuff. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Because they would be groping, and the groping got a little more aggressive and shit. A little more pokey. Yeah. You got pokey, man. Pokemon. And so it got sketchy, man. So as it went on, like that whole scene started getting thing is like, what was it? Ah, damn, I lost my train of thought. So that started coming in 93. That Luke came in 1994, even got bigger because like Outkast started show. And then what happened was Outkast started show, and what they started doing at these Freaknik things, they would start having concerts. And Biggie Smalls played at Freaknik. I mean, fucking these, like I said, Outkast, all these people. Who else was there? They weren't big yet, but they were like Usher was doing the shit. He wasn't Usher yet, but they were at that point. And it was just like
you said all. Tupac was there.
Tupac showed up to I think it was like the 93 one. Tupac was at the Freaknik. Was it 92? 90? I can't remember what year it was. Yeah, I think either way.
I was born 92.
Hey, there you go.
Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
I know, he's all young and shit. But yeah. But it was cool to see like all these stars before they were somebody. Like seeing Usher and shit before he was somebody. He's just a little ass kid and shit. It was just weird. But like Outkast came out, and then Outkast had the Goody Mob, and Goody Mob was always in they were part of Outkast, the Dungeon family, and then they were in the back, in the back of the and behind the scenes kind of thing. But they started coming out, having their own voice after like Outkast started blowing up, and it was just cool how they were showing like Freaknik was a big thing for like all these businesses in Atlanta. Like that downtown area was blowing up. These businesses were making money and shit. They were killing it. It was a positive thing. The narrators, like the young black people, were spending money. They would go to like before the Freaknik, they'd go buy sneakers, they buy new gear and clothes and outfits and shit. So they were spending money, and they cut to like a merry-go-round. They showed them like buying like all these cool clothes, like the FUBU and shit, and what was the other shit they were buying? I can't remember that damn brand. It sticks out so much in my head. Jabot and shit, huh?
Fat Farm?
It might have been, no. It was like Jabot and shit like that. And it was just like, I remember those fucking lines of clothes. They were very, very just the smaller brands now. They're not existing anymore. But it was just cool to see. So they were pumping a lot of money into the economy. So they didn't mind. Like Atlanta didn't mind at all. Like, hey man, we're making money. Kids are having a good time. It was all good, man. There was no. Then the other positive thing on music, the music scene in Atlanta was this gave a chance for like people like Outkast. They would give out their CDs and cassettes and shit, because you would just sit in traffic. It was basically just sitting in traffic with these people. They were just sitting in traffic and shit, and you would just walk around passing out your cassette to these people, and they put it into their fucking player right then, and it's just like you're hearing your music with these big crowds of people, and you're getting it was like social media before then. You're going viral, physically going viral with people there listening to your shit. It was really cool, man. And then in 95, what made it even bigger was like they introduced, Atlanta didn't have their own like local rap station, but they finally in 95 they finally got their own rap station. So they were playing Outkast on the radio, because they didn't hear Outkast on the radio. They were hearing like the mainstream shit on the radio, and they didn't like R&B and shit, but they wanted to hear, you could hear Outkast. Like I said, all these people, the Brat, all these people were on the thing. So they even made it a bigger thing and bigger party, and it was just getting more and more, that the event was getting, there was so much fucking traffic. Like people were sitting, they sat there for like, when it was real good, you sit in traffic for like 4 hours just in one spot. So sometimes they just get off on the side, park their shit, get out and just, party in the street and shit. And just
party right there.
Yeah. And people were fucking, they It was funny. They were showing like the chicks and shit. They were like twerking and shit before he was twerking. It was just, they said, we didn't call it twerking. She was just bouncing that ass, or I forgot what they said.
She was shaking her ass.
Yeah, she was shaking her ass. It was just funny how they were like, there was no twerking and shit.
They
like,
have to call it twerking.
Yeah.
Shaking her ass.
She was just shaking her ass. But it was just like I said, and just like I said, it just got rough. And then they ran into an issue in '96 because Atlanta was getting so popular and they were just getting so much attention on a bigger scale that the Olympics wanted to come to Atlanta. So they did. They got the Olympics in 1996. And that started a problem for Freaknik, man, because Atlanta was like the mayor. I think he was a black dude, but he was like, man, you guys are, causing mischief. Started getting a little rowdy. You're causing mischief. And now at this point, businesses weren't making no money and they were losing money because like the streets were blocked off and shit. And it was just fucking up the whole flow for everything. So what happened was the mayor ended up, I think he started to, what it was, they started introducing traffic cops and they started making it wasn't fun anymore because you couldn't cruise no more. They tell you to keep moving and keep it rolling. You couldn't stop. You couldn't
like on the freeway, they would block any exits that went down into the area where that was. Yeah. Like you couldn't even get off the freeway.
Yeah, you get.
They wouldn't let you get off the freeway till you were like way past it.
So people that were coming down there for Freaknik, they were getting pissed off. Like, man, I drove 8 hours to come down here. I'm not going to be sitting here I'm not going to be sitting in traffic. I didn't come this far to sit in traffic. Like, people were starting to get rowdy and shit, started getting pissed off and shit. So it just started getting a little more rambunctious. They were getting a little more. They didn't like it. This just wasn't what it was before.
Right.
Yeah, it just wasn't
going from partying in the street to now
it's all
exit.
Too many rules and too many rules. Yeah. So, here you go, Dylan. Just wipe that screen off. Anyway, so finally, all that being said, I got to that thing, to cut it to the chase. In 98 was the last Freaknik, and they just did away with it because it was just like too many incidences of rape and, just like that. It just got really sketchy. So they just did away with it. And there's this other cat that came through like after the fact, like 10 years later, this dude tried to bring it back. He tried to make a commercial, like a Freaknik show. It was like for example, it was in Atlanta, but it was like at a Woodlands Pavilion kind of thing. And it was very like, there was so many fucking rules.
It was just a concert.
It was just a concert, and nobody. They just
called it.
They like panned out to the crowd, and it was like a small ass crowd. Like there was not that many people there. It was kind of like shitty. It was very like the only thing it was for him. He was a promoter, so he was just there to sell like merch. He was selling like T-shirts, like Freaknik T-shirts and shit. It wasn't what it was. And even like the people who they were interviewing that attended the original Freakniks in like 96, 97, and 98, 96 and 93 and all that shit. They're like, man, this shit was bullshit. It wasn't what we created. It wasn't. They didn't have that same feel. So they did away with it, man. And it was just cool to see all these old ass actors and shit. I mean, old ass rappers and shit. It was just like they're still around and doing their thing and still hustling and shit. And it's
I think it's cool you said Outcasts.
Yeah, they were nobody, dude. Like they were.
What's funny too, my brain went to that song Roses. How they like, you like to think you're rose or whatever.
That's like shit. Yeah.
I like to think it's about that because you said all together outside.
Yeah, no, it was a cool ass documentary, man. Like if you don't know about Freaknik and shit like that, and you don't know of that culture that time, because I grew up in that time, so I saw it and I always like, damn, I like the word how they put that wording. They said like, if you're white or whatever, you want to do spring break in Daytona Beach, go ahead and do that. We're gonna do our own, but we're gonna throw a party like we throw it. And any color can come to our party. But we're gonna party our way. We're not gonna party for you. We're not gonna. Right. What do you say? We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna serve it up for you. Like we're gonna do it our way. Like it's gonna be our fucking the way we party. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome. They didn't shun anybody. They weren't like shun, reshun, unshun. Mm-hmm. They were just like, come on in. Party with us, man. It's gonna be our way. It's gonna be rowdy as fuck, and you better be ready. Kind of thing. Which I thought it was cool, man, because that was very inclusive of them. To let everybody come. Everybody was welcome. Was my point. But it was a cool ass doc, man. I loved it.
Where do we find it again?
That one was on
that HBO Max.
Oh damn, where was
Hulu.
It?
I don't know.
I think it was Prime. It might have been Prime. Hulu? Okay, Hulu. My bad. Okay, I thought it was
Hulu.
I watched so much shit, dude. Watched so much shit these past couple of days, man, because I had to kind of going off the music scene and rap and whatnot. We got into TikTok. If you haven't seen TikTok, it's kind of bashing J-Lo right now. J-Lo's like
so
killing.
Good. TikTok's
they're dragging
the best it's ever been.
Yeah, it's at its best right now. They were dragging J-Lo, dragging her because she has this. So what it is right now? She had this thing. She made this movie. What's it called? Something about It's a doc. It's not a documentary.
The best love story never told.
Well, that's that. But the first one, the movie, right? The video movie.
I thought that's what it was called.
Oh, is that what? I don't know.
They had the same name, but then
anyway. So original. So she's got 2 documentaries out. The first one is this thing she made, and it's supposed to be like a. It tells her love story. Like she's been married 4 times, so it kind of.
It's not about her though. Remember?
Yeah, she kept saying
it's clearly about her, but she kept saying it's not about me, but it's about me, but it's not about me.
Yeah,
it was so annoying.
Yeah,
she's awful.
She's fucking a jerk, man.
Oh my god, dude.
Does she look old, or she look?
Oh no, she
looks haggard.
Yeah,
there's many scenes of her with no makeup. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's very. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send you pictures of what I got. Oof. And so what it was is the first documentary. They came out. I guess they came out at the same time, right? I guess I'm not sure, but. The first documentary is her, and it's a video of her. It's so what she says, and what she says is it's supposed to be like Prince did Purple Rain, which was a movie about his story, but all he did was like be in a club and he played songs and shit. She goes, I wanted to make a movie that was more artsy, and she made it. Apparently, she made a new album. It's been like 20 years since she's made an album, or something like that. So she came up with a new album. So she's got a new album out right now, and that album she turned it into like she won't say. She's like, it's not a music video. She goes, and it's not a documentary. It's not a movie.
It's
she
not
goes,
a movie. It's something
like,
in between.
It's in between. So what it is, it's like it starts off like a fucking movie.
Starts off like a music video.
A music video,
because it's literally singing and dancing.
Yeah, it's all choreographed and shit, but it's all like her, like expressive dance. What do you call that shit? Like interpretation dance. I don't know what the fuck is shit.
Interpretive dance.
Interpretive. But anyway, it's like it's the whole fucking album played out, and it's just telling the whole story of her love life and shit. And it's a I say like a big ass music video. So after that's done, then they cut away. It's in the. You can watch the next series, and the next series is the behind the scenes of that video, of that movie video, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that's where it gets fucking sketchy. So there's this thing on TikTok right now because there's different parts in the movie, in that documentary of her, and one of them that they said was she's like. What? Not the sandwich one. What was the other one?
Oh,
she's like working.
I'm gonna reenact it for you. I've seen it 1,000 times because I think it's hilarious.
Where she's like,
oh my god, she takes her hair down and it's all like big and messy.
She's like working out in the gym.
She sits down all like
in front of the mirror
and cocky, right? She's like, this reminds me of when I would be running up and down the block in the Bronx, all wild and crazy.
And then
dude, she's so cringe.
So cut away to now on TikTok where I knew this bitch in high school.
I went to school with her. She wasn't running up and down no block. She was like
inside.
Goody two shoes. Yeah. Bitch was inside doing nothing.
Yeah.
And like she's so fake and ridiculous. It's hilarious.
So they were calling her out. And the other thing was I didn't see the documentary because we looked for it and I looked for it, but I couldn't find the bit where so what it is, it's her, and I guess it's like the end of the documentary, and then they ask you, J-Lo, when you go to the bodega, what's your order when you go to the bodega? What are you gonna get when you go there? What are you gonna eat? She's like, I'm gonna eat a ham and cheese on a roll. She goes, I'm gonna get an orange drink. If you know, you know. And a small bag of chips. And dude, they clipped that and everybody was dragging her on fucking TikTok. Like they were saying,
an orange drink, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
they're like orange drink. There's one lady, she's like, what, Tampico, Sunny D? What the hell are you talking about?
Fanta, orange
like,
juice.
what are you talking about? Like, these are people that live in the Bronx and go to the bodega, and they're like, you don't order just ham and cheese on a roll. You order like, you've seen that guy,
the Aki way.
Yes. Okay. That guy. Like
you've seen all the bullshit things
that
people say to him.
Yeah.
That's how you order at a bodega, and she would know that. You don't order ham and cheese on a roll.
Yeah.
Like,
and they were like, they go, like a small bag of chips? What, bitch, what are you eating? Like,
what kind of chips?
Like, chips?
I like that one. That girl goes, I just want a small bag of chips because you know they come in small, medium, and large.
Yeah, right. It's just like it's either a bag of chips. That's it. But it was just you gotta see it. I forget the name of the fucking documentary. I can't.
Just watch the TikToks.
The TikToks are killer. TikToks are killer. The comments are money, dude. It's so good, dude.
They're so good.
But yeah, man, you know what it was with the whole thing? Like I said, I respect her as an artist, and I get it, man. Like I said, she's doing her thing, and I'm not hating on it. It's like, dude, you're fucking. Oh, the funny part, dude. The whole funny part of the documentary, dude, was fucking Ben Affleck, because he's directing like the little, like when you do like the little interviews in between, like of her, like the little interviews in between. He's like filming it, like he's got the camera, because like he's a director. He's like award-winning director, so he was directing it, and he would ask her questions like, how do you feel about so and so, whatever, and she would answer. But he was in it. But the whole time he was like, dude, I'm not down for this documentary because I don't want my fucking life to be displayed. Cause she's talked about it's like basically like Mark Anthony, right? Mark Anthony and whoever else she fucking married.
Her married.
Yeah,
been
I forgot.
Yeah, there's like the four and stuff. But she came back to him at the end. She came back to Affleck. Is that how you say his name? I'm thinking about the duck.
Affleck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Affleck. Yeah.
Yeah.
No duck.
Yeah, no duck. Okay, no duck. Yeah, fuck that guy. That was
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yes, Gilbert. Yeah, he's always sweet. Yeah.
Rip. I loved him.
Yeah, no, I did too.
Funny.
I loved it. He was the parrot too, right?
Yeah, and I also liked him in Look Who's Talking. He was the little guy that worked at the baby gym.
I don't remember that. I didn't get that far. I stopped after the first one.
Oh well, that was the first one. First of all,
No, it wasn't. He was in that one.
yes,
The baby gym. Where?
yeah, he worked at the baby gym.
Oh right,
Remember
he was himself. I thought you meant
he wasn't. Well, yeah, I remember when John Travolta came in and he danced to "All Shook Up" by Elvis.
Oh yeah.
I remember that because it's my favorite part of the movie.
No, I forgot that you were saying like Gilbert Godfrey was a voice because I haven't seen who's talking. I haven't seen that shit in ages. I just remember the part where was it part 1 or 2 where he's like he ate too much fruit where he shit himself. The baby
I think that was the first one still.
Fruit. Yeah.
I think that was the first one because they were still small.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
They were fine. You
need to watch them.
Well, I guess I'll try to.
All 3, including the one where there's dogs.
Oof, no. And then once Roseanne came in, I was out because her voice is annoying as shit. So anyway, this J-Lo thing, what was I going with that? Gilbert Godfrey, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought.
Something about Affleck.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so he's in the whole fucking documentary. He's just like, dude, I don't want to do this shit. I was like, I'm not in. He's singing in a nice way, but he's like, I don't want our shit to be on display. I don't want our story. The shit, the thing is, it's a private shit should be behind closed doors, not for everybody to fucking hear. What?
You said on display? And I
on display.
Way too much Real Housewives.
Yeah, on display. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Italians.
I wish somebody watched that
you're
show
crazy
and I could talk to you about it.
Crazy Italian, huh?
I blew through 13 seasons of Real Housewives of New Jersey in a really embarrassing amount of time.
A week or so? A couple weeks?
I mean...
It was bad. It was bad.
I mean, it was like a month.
Yeah, it was not good.
13 seasons.
But it has its peaks and valleys. It was okay. It was not bad. I can't hate on it. It's good trash.
If anybody watches it, let me know because I need to talk about it.
Yeah, no shit. But anyway, so if you want to see some good comedy, go to the TikTok and see, look up J-Lo and shit, and you'll see some good shit. They're fucking killing her, man. They're destroying her ass.
So good.
But my point with the whole thing was like, dude, you're you made it, dude. You don't have to. It's like you're proving yourself to something like you don't need to. Like you're not having to prove us about your love story and shit. That's nobody gives a shit because she didn't get no backing for it. Like no
company,
no production company wanted to back it, so she had to do it herself. And it was like, who the fuck knows how much? Millions probably. She had to do it herself. So it was an insane documentary, man. She's ridiculous, and dude, she's just. You got to see this thing to her interactions, and I'll try to find some of the clips and put them on our Instagram and shit. Where she's talking to, there's a scene in the movie, and they have to. It's a conveyor belt. It's a conveyor belt, and she has to get on the conveyor belt. But mind you, they had to make all this stuff. This was all like props in the scene and shit. And the conveyor belt, when somebody stood on it, it didn't move anymore. The conveyor belt. And she goes, well, that conveyor belt's not working. Who's working on this thing? And they brought the engineer that was working on the conveyor belt. And her assistants is J-Lo, another guy, and her assistant, the girl assistant's over there across from her. And then the guy comes up, the engineer, he goes, I'm sorry, what's the problem? They're like, the assistant goes, well, the conveyor belt, when she stands on it, doesn't move. And the guy's going to reply to J-Lo. And there's another guy standing on the corner. He's like, don't talk to her. Talk to the assistant because J-Lo's has a fake.
Yeah, when the guy asked for something, she turned her head away.
Yeah, she wouldn't acknowledge him and shit. And then
he's a fucking.
But the guy was this other guy standing on the side is like, hey, the engineer was about to answer the question why it wasn't working. He could fix it, but when he was answering the question, he was trying to look at her, and the guy was like, don't look at her. Like, talk to the assistant. Don't talk to J-Lo directly to her. Talk to her assistant.
Well, one of her ex-housekeepers said that when she worked for J-Lo, if she passed J-Lo in the hallway, she had to look down at the floor. Until she got by. And I fully believe that after watching that documentary.
Dude, if you watch that, you see how dude, why would you want people to see this side of you? Like you want people to remember you as doing
straight up,
the movies, the music and shit. You don't want people to remember you as that. Like,
well, it's like whenever she was trying to get any celebrity to come on in her damn
in that music video,
whatever.
Yeah,
everybody was telling her no.
Yeah,
like.
Momoa,
everybody.
She asked Momoa. I think what you call it?
Even Momoa said no.
Oh yeah, because he said he was busy.
Everybody was busy, and she's like, I know what that means because I say I'm busy when I'm not really busy, and I just don't want to do something.
She goes, I read the script and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, and
so that's what they did. They didn't want to do it anyway. But after all, they had some big names. They had Post Malone did it. They had a small bit.
I don't like that.
I was about to say, how did you?
No, I think he did it because he's just a nice guy. I think he's just a nice dude.
I'm like, you're better than this.
Fat Joe was in it. Of course, Fat Joe. Because Fat Joe sucks her off.
He loves her.
Yeah,
probably loves Selena.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And then taking a selfie. And then What else? Yeah, man. So you gotta just check it out, man. You get to see it. It's unfortunate to see that side of her because, like I said, I try to remember. Like again, it's this thing with social media and everything else. It ruins the people that you. Not that I said I liked or anything, but just you want to leave a memory of that person the way you remember them, not seeing it like that. And it was just bad.
All it did was confirm all the rumors about her.
Yeah. But out of all that, dude, Ben Affleck, I think he's a cool dude, man. Like he was just pretty chill through the whole thing. He's naturally funny. He's got that charisma where he's just naturally funny, like behind it, like just chilling, like they're just at home and shit. Like,
could do better.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a good looking cat, man. But
I do think it was ridiculous when that one guy told him, "No, you made Armageddon." Oh, let's calm down.
Wait, that was Bruce Willis.
That was Bruce Willis. Let's calm
down. That
was
either Bruce Willis or Bruce Willis made the movie, or fucking what's his name, Buscemi.
Or Buscemi.
Wow. Oh, fucking what's his name?
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. No, I think what you call it.
Ben Affleck was great and he was fine.
But it's Bruce Willis's movie.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis's man. He took the L for the team, man. He fucking ate shit for them. He stayed on that fucking comment for them.
Yeah, Affleck was smoking a cigarette in the video movie.
He's all like that. Like all fucking but like you said, you made a good point. Like I said, I feel like she made this documentary to show because the whole fucking time in the documentary, she's like always fucking crying and always mustering up tears. But like you said, what is that thing you said by him?
Because every time they show any footage you see of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, they're talking about how he's miserable and unhappy and just all that shit, right? And I feel like she made this to show, see, we're so in love. And I mean, it's literally called The Greatest Love Story Never Told.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
For real.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
That's what it's called. It's like, come on, man. And through the whole thing, they're all making me sick.
Yeah,
like, nobody acts like that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but you could tell him.
Somebody that's went far enough to get married, you're not acting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But even for him,
you do that when you're dating for the first month.
Yeah, the door, you start.
It's ridiculous.
You don't open the door no more. That's it.
It's ridiculous.
You stop opening the door.
Like, be real.
No, not really.
Well, he probably has to be that way with her.
Oh yeah, she's vicious, dude. She's vicious, man. But no, I mean, check that out. That's pretty. If anything, it's comedy. It's funny, dude. It's just for me, it was just entertaining. And it's like I said, because I don't, I just like to see. I always like to see what's going on. Like I said, because I wanted to see if people on TikTok were overreacting about her, or I just want to see for myself. But they weren't overreacting. It was pretty solid. It was pretty spot on, man. She's a dick. But and then there was.
I want to hear from somebody who watches it and doesn't think she was that bad.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody just with a neutral ground.
I want to talk to somebody who thinks that because there's no way. We
need to see what Sanaz thinks. The one last thing I think, and I'll stop talking about her ridiculous ass, was there's a scene where she's in a scene with like mud, and she's like it's a big dramatic part scene, and she's like in the mud, like hitting the mud, and she goes, and the guy that's making the mud has three samples of mud. He's like, which mud do you prefer? And she's like,
she touches them all.
And she just walks away from him, and he's like, well, which one did you like? She goes, well, I like the other one that wasn't that wet. It was more crumbly. Put more water in that. And then like the guy, her like manager.
Well, no, she does that and then gets in a car and shuts the door, and it's like, no. Like, leave me alone.
And the guy's like, please, I just want to know which one. He was like, please tell me which one so I can fix it, like, so you don't get mad at me. And
it was like fear in this guy. I'm going to pick the wrong mud, and she's
right. It's like, just pick the mud.
She goes, I like that mud. She goes, put more water in it so when I grab it, it splatters. Like, it's like, who the fuck's gonna notice all that shit, dude? Just fucking get the mud.
And by the way, it wasn't wet enough.
Yeah,
it didn't splatter like Princess wanted it to.
In the end, when they cut to that part where she's in the mud splashing around, it doesn't really splash. It's like chunks. Like it didn't really.
It was ridiculous. Like you could see the fear in that guy holding the little containers of mud. Like, oh my god, which one do I pick?
Right, that's a little.
Because she was being real vague about which container it was. So he's like, oh god, just please tell me. So you don't have me killed in the night.
Like, dude. He came to the car window like this with all the samples. He was like that with the little container with the samples of mud.
The way she was just like, no.
Nah, dude. Like, she's intense, dude. Like, she's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, and there's multiple scenes of if you want to see J-Lo, which J-Lo looks like every day, watch. You'll see what she looks like every day with all the goods and services on the face.
Not good.
But that was good. So check that out. The J-Lo documentary, like I say, and if you don't want to watch it, just TikTok will make you laugh. It'll make you laugh. Oh yeah, one thing about the Freaknik thing I forgot to say. It was just fucking hilarious. I thought this was funny. To me, it was funny. The T-Short was in the documentary. T-Short during the Freaknik thing, and they asked him, because I went to a couple of them. They were for a good time. Because they were a blast. It was black folks having a good time. But the funny part that got me is when they interviewed T-Short and they cut to him and they were talking to him in the documentary. It had his name in the corner. It said T-Short. And it said rapper / legendary game spitter. And it was just fucking hilarious to me. It was like game spitter, like
game spitter,
game, like like talking shit to chick, trying to get chick, yeah. But it was just funny. It's like rapper / legendary game spitter. It was just fucking. It was funny to me. I just thought, like, did you have to put that? We know who Too Short is. Like everybody
whoever made that was
new.
One of them,
or one of them, or the first day on the job, or because it was just like we know who Too Short is. He's pretty good with the ladies. So we all know that. I mean, if you know him. Again, if you know, you know. Like the orange drink. If you know, you know.
Orange drink.
You know, you know.
Give him a Fanta real quick.
Oh yeah, get that Fanta in there.
I want to know what orange drink.
I know. We'll find out. Eventually, it'll come to the surface, and we'll figure it out.
And my thing is, how many trendy little shit kids are going into bodegas and being like, "I want the J-Lo's orange drink." If you know, you know. And the people at the bodega are like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh, dude. And you know what they did? That wasn't in the documentary. Remember that part where they showed where she's walking past somebody's house? She goes, "I used to live in that house," and the man.
Yeah.
The man. Go ahead. You want to tell him?
She walks past this man's house and she's like, "I used to live right up there," and this man is outside on the balcony and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I used to live right up there," and he's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, she got pissed. Dude.
"I'm Jennifer," all cincy and shit, and then he's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Jennifer Lopez," and he's like, "I don't give a damn."
Right?
He did not care.
She was pissed.
She was so
embarrassed and pissed. Yeah, because he didn't know who she was.
Where was that scene?
I know. I wanted to see that scene, and the other scene was the chips one, the sandwich. They didn't show that one. It was in the docu. I mean, maybe it was in the cutouts or some shit. Who knows?
We gotta find those scenes.
I want to find them. But yeah, man. So that's what we got into. We watched the Freaknik, watched the J-Lo thing, and then I was just during the work week, I was scrolling through Instagram. I think we found it the other day. It was like during the week, and I showed Jennifer this, and it was just I was blown away by this guy's talent, man. His name is Mark Martell, and he's from America, right? He's not British. I thought he was British, but he's Mark Martell. He's from America. He has a Queen tribute band, and holy shit, dude! If you go on TikTok, go on the social media, and see this guy, I mean, he sounds just like Freddie Mercury. I mean, he sounds like he just sounds like a twin.
Canadian.
He's Canadian.
That's what I was trying to say.
Said he sounds like Freddie Mercury.
Identical.
And then the thing
sounds a lot for you to say that.
The thing that pissed us off was we were watching this thing on him, this little clip of him, a little documentary clip, just a real small clip, and he was saying that it was between him and Adam Lambert, and that Brian May's the lead guitarist. Brian May and I think the drummer, right? I think so. They chose which one they wanted. They chose Lambert. And what did he say? That why they chose him instead of over Mark?
Basically, because that Mark guy would overshadow them. Well,
that's the point.
Dude
right?
sounds exactly like Freddie Mercury, and he has the same face structure.
Yeah, like his jaw, his face.
It's like crazy.
It's insane. If you gotta follow him on social media, Mark Martell, and we'll put it on the thing on the image. We'll put
TikTok,
the image up.
Facebook, Instagram.
He's amazing, dude. Like he can do shit without them doctoring up his voice and shit. He's just fucking crazy talented, man. And it was dumb. I love Brian May and all those guys, but I think it was dumb that they picked Adam Lambert because Adam Lambert
is entertaining, like on the stage, but he doesn't sound like
not at all. Like, he's got charisma. He's got the style, and he's got the glitz and glamour, but
he doesn't sound like.
He doesn't sound anything like Freddie. This guy sounds exactly like Freddie Mercury. I was blown away, dude. I couldn't believe it. I had to watch. I watched like a ton of his fucking videos on TikTok.
I thought he was watching TikToks of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, that's how close. Because she didn't know what I was watching.
Showed it to me, and I was like, oh my god, like
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, dude. He tours. Like I said, he does a lot of stuff up north and shit. But if he ever comes to Texas, I want to see that son of a bitch, man, because that guy is crazy talented. I never got to see the real Freddie Mercury, so I'd love to see something close to it. That'd be
probably sell out like real quick
because it's a small. They have I couldn't believe that he's got a lot of followers, like 500,000 followers, but I thought he'd be like 500,000 followers, but I thought he'd have like more than that, like, because I mean that's crazy talent to have, man. You sound almost like fucking Freddie Mercury. That's insane. But excuse me, but give that guy a follow, man. Like I'm gonna fucking keep an eye on him, see when he's coming to Texas, man, because I gotta definitely see that fucking show. So Freaknik, we're talking about all that stuff. Because like this kind of fits into kind of afterwards, like after that whole thing, like that ended in 98. And then I was watching this, it was like a small documentary, not even a documentary, just a thing I was watching on The Source. The Source always has a good like little clips of stuff, like stories, like clip on Instagram. The Source, the magazine, The Source. I used to buy those. Did I tell you that story, Jennifer? I used to buy that. I don't know if I said it on the show or I told you in the car or whatever. Did I say it on the show or no?
No, you told me.
when I used to go to college, my college was on Westheimer and Little York, or Yorktown. I can't. It's a little York some shit, and it was on Westheimer, and that's where my art school, the Art Institute of Houston, is where I went to drop out anyway, and I wasted $30,000 school loans anyway. So I go down there every day, and I go before class. Class would start at 4:00, 5:00, my evening class. So I go to class, and before class, I'd get there a little early downtown because traffic was heinous. So I'd get there a little early, maybe an hour ahead. I'd get down there, and on Westheimer, they used to have, like right past the Galleria, they used to have this place, and it was called the Newsstand. And that's where I used to go, and I used to get information. I used to get, like, you could get information from, like newspapers from different cities, different states, you know, from all over, you know, Europe, everywhere. And they also had, like, a ton of magazines everywhere, dude. Like, every magazine you could think of, cooking, you know, music, everything, all this shit. And that's when there was no internet wasn't big for me yet. It wasn't on it yet. So I'd go in there, and I would buy like Double XL. Those were like rap magazines, like Double XL and The Source. And I used to buy them because the covers were so good. They were like great photography of like the next whoever was, like, you know, as they would see on X trending, who was trending at the time. And but back then you were on the cover of the magazine back then. And so, you know, I have all these magazine covers with like Biggie Smalls, and, you know, multiple fucking rap artists that I used to be into, you know. And I would collect those, and I would read them and read the articles. I go to Playboy. I read the articles, and that's how I would see the fashion and shit from New York, like, you know, the all the shit that was going on there. And that's when, like, Fubu was big, and like you said, Fat for all those clothing lines were getting big. But then so what it was, the whole point of my story is that I was doing that. And I was on The Source Instagram now, since it's not a magazine no more. So I watched it on the social media there, and I was watching a story about Mark Ecko. And Ecko, the clothing, remember Ecko? How he used to have the rhino? The rhino, you know, and he was like that.
You can still find that brand a lot at like Burlington and
like
Ross.
Yeah.
It's like coming back now. It's like supposed to be coming back.
Okay.
But anyway, the point was, he said he was born in 1972, and he was back in 1972. You know, they didn't have the technology they have now, where you could do like they knew what if you had twins, you know, you knew you were having twins or whatnot. So he goes, they didn't have that technology. So 1972, when I was born, my mom was pregnant with me. She goes, but she didn't know that there was twins in there. So when we were born, I was 5 minutes after my sister, and my sister came out, Marcy, she came out, and then I was born. And because the whole point of the interview was, they asked him, how did the Ecko happen? How did the name Ecko? He goes, well, you know, like I said, that whole story that he was born, and his sister. His mom said him and his sister would always hang out, and he was always like his sister's shadow, and he was like she was his sister's Ecko. They called him Ecko as a kid because he was always with his sisters, always following her, you know, always with her and doing everything together. So he kept that, and so as he became a teen, you know, he did graffiti and shit. So Ecko was his thing. Ecko was his tag name, and he goes and he started doing that, and he started doing the graffiti. And people liked his graffiti and his work, so he started doing clothing. First, he started with hats, you know, like the hats, and it just said Ecko. It was just like Ecko clothing. It was very cheesy and simple, but he goes, I was selling shit. People were buying my shit because it was underground, and it was, you know, New York. People were digging my shit, and he goes, so it just started becoming a thing. He goes, and then finally, 2001, he said he blew up. From 2000, I think it was 2001 to 2008, he was huge. Like, he was huge with the clothing, and the rhino thing came in, and it was just a big deal, and but that's how it was, because everybody wondered, how did you come up with that? How was the name of the clothing? Why is it named that? And that's what it was. It was just his sister. His mom called him Ecko because he was second. Like, he was always behind.
That's cool.
He was always behind. It was a really cool story. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know, and I thought he was a white cat, but he's a white dude. I never knew he was a white dude. He's a white cat. He's
I
a
know
New York.
it's not typically white people that wear the brand. I don't really know
Yeah.
why. It's just clothes.
Yeah,
but
it's like usually more ethnic, you know, kind of a brand, urban brand.
Yeah.
But
I was like wearing it because they were big people friendly.
yeah, no,
that's true.
and
Well,
that's
that's
why,
true.
And I've always been big my whole life.
Yeah,
So.
me too.
Yeah.
And that's why I was that's why when, you know, people would always ask me, you know, why, that clothing ain't for you, you know, that's for, we were kids. Kids were rude in high school and middle school. They're like, yeah, that's for black people, man. That's not for us. I said, yeah, but you know why I like it? I said, because it caters to me. I'm a fat kid. You know, I need a 2X or 3X all the time. I never have, you know, fucking the Gap only goes up to 1X. Fucking all these other places only go to 1X. You know, I need 2, 3Xs. You know, and that's why I always gravitated towards like Fubu, Sean John, and all these clothing. You know, all this clothing that I was into. What was the other one? There was another one called Academics. Was another one too. I used to love that. And but that's why. But again, that's why, because they catered to big clothes. Like the pants would come into like 44s, 48s, and shit. Like, and those were granted the pants back then. This was like back in 96, 97. Back then, man, fucking pants were like $50, and that's back then. You know, that's back in the day. Now $50.
I throw down $100 on a
for
pair
of jeans quick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like. So, but that's what I'm saying. But that was me back in the day. I used to work in the summer, and I'd save my money up, and I would blow it all right before school started. I'd blow all my money and get clothes and shit, buy clothes and shit. So that was my thing, man. I loved clothes, and I loved like the urban look, and I just loved it because, like I said, I could fit in the clothes. Like I said, I couldn't get Levi's. Shit, Levi went to like when I was a kid, Levi's and fucking Wranglers was what I could get, and I didn't want to wear that shit. That shit was too tight for me. You know, it was just not for me, and the style was trash. You know, it wasn't for me. So
I actually had a pair of denim shorts that I had for a while.
Yeah,
I actually had them when I met Bree, but I didn't want to get rid of them because they had a hole like in the gooch part. So you couldn't really
got them in the gooch.
You couldn't really see it unless you can like obviously like whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody got up in your gooch.
But then they finally I was like, okay, I got to retire them.
Got to retire them. Yeah, I remember Angel brought that memory back to me about gooch. I remember the episode of it was I remember that time I think it was the first Jackass movie, and they have those electric, it's like pads, like a little pad. And it's like when they put it in, it goes, and Knoxville goes, or I think it was Knoxville. They told Steve, he picks his legs up like this, and he's like, put it on your gooch, and he goes, and Johnny Knoxville looks at the camera, the gooch, for you guys don't know, is that thing in between the asshole, the taint, and he goes, is the gooch, and they did it, and then when they peeled it off, they were like smelling it. Like smelling
that's so gross.
And they threw it in somebody's face. I think they threw it in, I forgot whose face they threw it in, but that reminded me.
I think it was Rake or Preston Lacey, one of them.
Threw it in his face like that.
Yeah. It's funny you brought up magazines. You know how hard it is to find a magazine now?
Yeah, I know. We were looking for our Friends magazine, right?
Yeah. Brendan Schaub is on the cover of Street Truck magazine, so of course I have to have it, right?
We gotta have it.
So I go to 3 stores. Only one of them carries magazines anymore. Thank God for HEB.
Oh, HEB.
Because nobody else does. Literally nobody does.
Yeah.
But then I get there and it's Street Trucks and he's not on the cover.
Oh.
But then I look closer at the picture of his. It doesn't come out till June.
Oh, so we're a little.
So it's early.
Time.
But at least I know where it is.
So HEB, so they have like a rack of it?
HEB has a whole section of magazines.
Because I know that Kroger, I don't know if they still do, that Kroger that's over there off of
they don't anymore.
The older one by
Neither one
Roadhouse,
of them do.
Texas Roadhouse. Mm-mm. I remember they had a big aisle of fucking magazines and shit. They don't do
Walmart doesn't carry them anymore. Nobody does.
They used to look
all they have is People. That's really it. They don't have,
or what you get at the checkout.
It's weird. It's like, because why? People don't like magazines anymore?
I used to like getting the tattoo magazines and the the basketball magazine. It's called Slam. Was the basketball magazine? I used to love it because it would tell you who the new up. But I know they do now because now you can go to websites and shit.
I know, but
I want to read a magazine about.
Cool.
Yeah, sometimes I want to read a magazine about an up and coming basketball player and shit, or what have you.
Well, I think it's that thing. Like I used to read, 17 magazine and YM and all those different Sassy and all those magazines, and I had stacks of them all over my room, and then I would just go back through them all the time. But people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, and the thing is, you keep shit like that because, like I said, eventually I think a flood or something happened. And I had all my Source magazines in a box, and it was a flood, and they were in the garage, and I had them in a box, and the flood came, and it destroyed all my magazines. But I had I had almost like all the issues of like the Source during like the time of hip hop in the 90s and shit. It was just, I hated losing all that, man. It was like I said, Outkast was on the cover, Busta Rhymes on the cover, things like that. Just it was more East Coast kind of a feel to it. I mean, they had Snoop on there sometimes too and shit. But in those kind of West Coast people, the West Coast connection, shit like that. But for the most part, it's more East Coast and shit, and that's where you would see like Method Man, Redman, and all those guys. And I was just so I would gravitate so much to those guys because their style was my thing. I think Vinnie told me about this the other day. He sent me this clip. It was Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal, and they were buying sneakers at this one sneaker shop.
Oh yeah!
Holy shit, dude! I think Jake Gyllenhaal's bill ended up being like $1,900. And then Connor's ended up being like, it was like $100 or I can't remember. It was like $200,000 his bill. And he goes, man, I got 4 kids, man. I got to buy sneakers for 4 kids. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then Connor was trying to get Jake Gyllenhaal to buy those shoes from Back to the Future, the ones that on part 2 where they seal up.
The Marty McFly.
Yeah, he was trying to get him to buy those. They were like they were like almost $40,000. And Jake Gyllenhaal was like, nah, nah, it's not my style. He was like, I don't like the style. He goes, but it was just funny because he goes, I have the money for it. But, it's just funny that they have the money for the shit. But, it's just weird how to see people like that shopping like that.
I'm really disappointed that Vinny's not here because I really wanted to call him out on Ricky Stanicky, by the way.
Oh, dude, that was. By the way, you guys, y'all watched it, right? Watch it? Y'all watched it already?
Yeah, we liked it.
I didn't.
We liked
it's
it.
It's all right, dude.
So
you know what? I liked him.
I love
Cena.
him.
Cena's great.
Right.
I didn't like the other guys too much. I didn't care for the other guys. Cena was. I wish it had been more John Cena.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was fine.
I just like the way it all came together at the end.
We didn't even finish it.
How did it come together? Tell me because I
turned
didn't.
it off.
Oh, did we want to ruin? It doesn't matter. We ruined it.
It doesn't matter.
Go
You
ahead.
should have watched it.
Go.
So obviously how far did you guys get into it? Do you remember? How far? When did you?
He showed up. He showed up at the party. He showed up at that party. Huh? And then he left. I can't remember. So I was like, maybe in the middle, maybe
probably
kind of in the middle.
So basically, towards the end, they're trying to like he starts to get annoying to them. Like they try to get like away from him, and then basically towards the end, he comes back and like reunites all of them through like through the job that they all work at, and like he becomes the best friend they never had type of thing.
The one that they made up
because he got hired at the job or something.
Yes,
he got hired, and then that got pissed off. One guy got mad because he got hired there or something.
And then they basically ran him off. They ran him off.
Oh
like
shit!
He got upset and so he went back or whatever. Okay. And then they went and got him back, or he basically disappeared, and then he comes back at the end and like brings them all together, like makes them look really good at their job. And then,
okay, I see what you're saying.
It was just too. No. I get nervous in movies like that are real buffoony. It's like that. They make me nervous. Because that's what that did.
Because like for me, I love Lucy. I love Lucy, but she has those episodes. She has a lot of those episodes, and that's what we call it at our house. We call it. It's very loose. If a movie's very Lucy, it's like where she keeps getting into shenanigans and it keeps growing.
John Wayne's Footprints.
And it keeps growing, and she keeps fucking up, and she keeps fucking up.
I hate that episode.
Like she
breaks him like 20 times.
They're trying to get trying to get like his foot, trying to get John Wayne's feet in cement. And she does it once. She drops it. She breaks it. They have to do it again.
She steals the original tile from Grauman's Chinese Theater. Yeah. She breaks it.
Yeah. She has to make another one.
She needs to make another one, and she gets John Wayne to do it. But it's just this whole.
And it's just like always a fucking.
It's a 2-part episode.
Yeah, it's too long, man.
It's too long.
But that's what we say when it's like it gets loosey, or just it gets too long in the tooth. It gets too.
There
silly.
were a lot of cringy parts. I will say that.
Yeah.
And then there were parts that just made us like crack up really hard.
No, I mean there were some parts at the beginning. Like you know what I found the funniest was him when he was Cena was being like he's like real. Like it's not necessarily dry, but it's like very the way he's saying jokes like, "Oh, can I get that shrimp or whatever?" When he was like ordering at the bar, I forget what he said, ordering something, but it was just funny how the way he was doing was very casual. He wasn't trying to be funny. It was just funny the way he was coming out.
He was just talking normally.
Yeah, and it was funny, and he was just trying to get some free shit off that bartender or whatever. It was just funny, dude. But I like Cena. Cena's good, man. Like he's a good. I love his energy. He's got a good personality, man.
Do you guys like the beginning where he's like changing or dressed like all the celebrities going?
Yeah, I thought that was funny, dude.
Like the penis versions of his songs.
Yeah, like that shit. If they'd have kept that going, that was funny as shit, dude. And like I said, I thought that was hilarious, man. But no, I did. We tried it. I tried it, but like I said, if I need to, I'll go finish it because I want to see how it ends. But at that point, we're just kind of.
I think you're on your own on that one. Even he doesn't want to watch it.
Nah, I'll try it. I don't mind it. Like I said, I like him, so I like Cena.
Yeah, we watched it for him, basically.
Cena's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. I like him. I can't wait to see if he comes back in the next Fast and Furious one, the 10. Because remember, he died, but they kind of left it, kind of open where if he didn't. I'm
sure he'll be back. He better.
He was the best part of that one. That last one.
Make another Daddy's Home.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. It's a good Christmas movie. It's always a Christmas episode, right? Kind of. Okay, because the first one was kind of Christmassy, wasn't it?
No.
No?
No, the first one wasn't, but the second one was.
Yeah, I like the second one.
I think we always just watch them both at Christmas.
I guess
them together.
It's double feature kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I ran into was the first person, the guy that got the fucking Neuralink thing, the Musk thing. He used it to pull an all-nighter playing Civilization 6, and he made his own civilization. He was playing all night with the game with his mind, just playing with his mind with the gaming thing, using his Neuralink there. It's crazy, dude, because like they show him, he's just like that, nothing moves, and he's just playing the fucking game. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. It's like I said, it's coming, and we're all gonna, like I said, if it works out, it's got good. If the reviews are good and the Yelp reviews are good, I'm gonna get one too. I want to get one, so I'm gonna get one before it's all said and done. so I don't get old. I don't want to get old.
It's not. It doesn't stop you from aging.
No, but when you get old, if you start falling apart and shit, you lose it because it helps you with your.
You already can't remember anything.
That's what I wanted, dude.
You already need it.
That's what I needed. And then we should have got it. We were trying to get it. I couldn't find it, but I want to get it. We'll probably have it for the next episode. It's the Big Bite hot dog juice. It's a seltzer at 7-Eleven. So it's hot dog flavored. So I want
to. Who want that?
It's let me see what it says. It's a.
I'd rather eat a pint of macaroni and cheese ice cream than drink that.
Yeah, it's the Big Bite hot dog sparkling water.
You got me there.
Fizzy hot dog water.
Yeah,
oh, no.
That's what it is.
Yeah, fizzy. Never mind.
I'll try it
out. No.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can get it this week. I'm gonna try to go grab it.
See if we can
dunk
a bun in it.
Ooh, imagine like that. So we'll just try to find that one. I'm hearing good things about it, so I have to try it.
I don't think you're hearing good things.
I'm hearing great things.
You're hearing things. I can make you some hot dog water. Give me about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I can just boil hot dogs and some Topo Chico, and
there you go.
And then you pointed out a thing to me the other day that Punxsutawney Phil, he's got a wife, right? And
Punxsutawney Phil has a wife
and babies, or not yet?
Yeah, he has 2 babies.
Oh, he's got 2 babies. Okay.
And his wife's name is Phyllis.
Phyllis. Okay.
Which I think is really cute.
But yeah,
Phil and Phyllis.
Like I said, we were saying he's going to get another job. That one fucking job ain't going to cut it, man. He's got a family to feed. He can't just do the fucking here's the shadow and go back
once a year, and he's not even good at that.
Nah, he sucks. He usually can't call that shit
every
right
time.
Fucking podcast, man. I think they did the rankings of the Bald podcast, and Rogan still continues to be the first #1 podcast. And then it's something. The other one is these chicks call something about your daddy's girl, some shit. I forget what it is. But he's still the reigning #1 show in the world.
Call her daddy.
Yeah, sorry. I knew something about daddies.
What does Sanaz say? He's an acquired taste.
He is. He's a Boston guy. What are you gonna do? And then what?
Donnie Wahlberg's a Boston guy too, and I'm all over that.
Oh yeah, there's 2 different kinds of Boston cats, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I had, the last thing I had was, Starbucks takes over Subway as the 2nd largest restaurant chain in the world. Starbucks. So Dr. Evil's doing pretty good. He invested pretty good. #2 invested pretty good in Starbucks, right?
Fabulous.
You know, the Belgian dip.
I think I'm the one that makes them.
You keep them occupied. Yeah, you keep them on.
You know that there's a way you can look at how much money you've spent.
I don't want to do that.
Just at Starbucks in a year, I would be horrified to look.
I can imagine.
You have to have the app, bro, right?
Yeah, she got because you got the gold rewards and shit.
Oh yeah,
because you get the free drink.
Gold level back when they still had little cards that you had to scan.
Right.
I got a gold little credit card in the mail that's all sparkly, and I'm a gold member.
Yeah. Still have it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe
might be worth something.
And then now they got the app and shit where you put money on that shit in the app and points and that bullshit. Yeah. So we had a good. It was an eventful thing. And then by the time it's coming out the week later, of course, everybody knows that story. But I just wanted to say that we had a good weekend this weekend. I had a good weekend. I got to pour some beers again at a cool little spot downtown Conroe, called Fass Brewery. If you ever have time, go check out Fass, man. Those guys are good people, man. Dylan and his dad and the whole team over there, man. Those guys are awesome, man. Posey's good guy, man. He helped me through my first shift over there. And it probably won't be the last one. I think we're going to do a lot more. I'm going to be doing a lot more with Fass over there. So keep your ears out. And it was good to see Dylan was gracious enough to let me bring one of my old school friends was a food vendor. He said, man, bring another food vendor out. Who do you got? I said, I got a guy that can do burgers, smash burgers. And I brought my boy Lewis from Tootsie's Tacos, man. That was really nice to see Tootsie's again. Lewis and his family. I love them because just like Son and them down there, Lewis and his family do. He's got his daughter running the register, taking your order. He's got the wife helping him, assisting him, and he's on the grill getting after it, man. I'll send some pictures to Angel of him cooking. But they had a massive line this past Saturday at Lagerfest. Again, like I said, it was just cool for Dylan to give me that chance to let me share some of my friends with his friends, and it was a good time. We had a good time. Angel and Bree came out. Thank y'all for coming out, man. That was really cool. A lot of beer was had that weekend, this past weekend. It was a good time, man. We had a really good time, and like I said, I'm looking forward to hanging out with those guys some more. And like I said, again, the whole crew was inviting, very welcoming. It was a good time. And last but not least, I got to hang out with Christina, my buddy Christina. Follow her on Instagram, Blackbird. Is it Blackbird, right? Blackbird?
Yeah.
Blackbird, yeah. Christina. And Miss Christina, Miss White, as their students would call it, Miss White. She's awesome, man. We had a good time. We got to reminisce, bullshit a little bit. I kind of remember just having a good time, and it was nice. It was nice to see some of our old friends come through and have some beers with us and then chit chat. It was fun. It was a good time, like I said. So probably the next big thing for us would probably with the Falls maybe would probably be the next big thing, probably be Oktoberfest, something like that. Or and then I think they may have some festivals going on, and the 52 has some plans that I want to do for downtown Conroe. And I think Vinnie will dig it what I have in plans. So we got some plans coming up for later in the year when it cools off, because it's about to get hot as shit. It's summertime, so it's coming. So after the heat goes away, we'll probably got something planned for. 52 wants to do something downtown, so it'll be a big event we want to do down there. But we'll keep it under wraps for a while. But other than that, do you have anything else that you want to say? No, nothing from the peanut gallery.
No.
All right, Angel, you got anything?
No, man. Just tell all your friends about us.
Yep.
Like, share, subscribe. Give us chime in, like Vinnie would say.
Yep. As Vinnie would say. As Vinnie would do it.
Here. But mainly it's always up top.
Yeah, always up top.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's cool, man.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, good time this weekend. I can't wait to for the next thing. Come out there. Hopefully we get the Gravy Gang. The next big event, we'll get the Gravy Gang down there, the whole crew down there, and have a big time, man. So thank you everybody for listening, and keep following us, man. Keep watching us and give us a chance. We're good background noise. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.